Hi, I'm Oded. I work at Wayfair's Kubernetes team. I'm a platform engineer. So, you've set up your cool new GitOps repo. You read all the articles and you saw the sessions, and you know that you should probably, the best way about it is to set up all your cluster as separate folders in the repo main branch. You set up your Argo instance, and it reconciles every change you make in those folders to your cluster. Everything works. And now you want to make a new change. So we start with the lab cluster. You edit the file. It automatically reconciles to the cluster. Everything works. Amazing. You're testing a change. It's good. You want to promote it. OK, no problem. You create a branch. You copy the files. Commit the files. Open a pull request, maybe it needs to be reviewed, and then you merge it. Amazing. Now the change is promoted to the next dev environment. But you probably need to promote it again. You have multiple clusters, multiple environments, multiple sites, so you promote it again. Another branch, another copying of files, make sure you don't miss any file, commit them, create pull requests, have them reviewed, and merge. But we're still in staging, right? There's more to go. And more, and more. And it's not great. So I wrote a tool to help me with that, and it's called Telefonistka. So the basic functionality of Telefonistka, it watches over merge pull requests that change files in specific folders in your repo, and just opens pull requests that syncs those changes to new folders. A PR is merged, a new PR is created by Telefonistka. It's tool agnostic because it basically manipulates files and pull requests, so it can work with Argo CD, but it can also work with Terraform or Flux or any other GitOps repo or tool. It supports multi-stage promotion, and you get control over granularity of the promotion. So let me go over this. There's the first scenario, the simplest one, from dev to prod. Just open, you merge something to dev, it opens a pull request for production. The second example is a multi-stage flow where you merge something to dev, it opens a pull request to prod. When you merge that, it opens the second pull request. You merge that, it opens the third. It's kind of walks you through the flow. The third example just shows that you can merge multiple folders in one pull request. Maybe in dev, where you don't care about blast radius, you can just deploy to all your dev environments at once. And the fourth example is kind of a fan-out approach, where you just have the tool open multiple pull requests, and the user can merge them as he sees fit. You can also mix and match with all of those. You can have complex flows or simple ones. Because it uses the super familiar pull request user experience, users are familiar with it, you can interact with it using the CLI or the web UI, and Telefonistka also interacts with the user with comments and labels. So the whole, the user experience is very familiar, and you can use GitHub's features like code owners and pull request status checks to further customize your flow depending what your organization needs. Telefonistka also warns the user on drift between environments. Because Telefonistka strives to keep environments in sync. It syncs component folders in their entirety. It means it copies all the files in one component in dev to some component in prod, for example. So if some earlier change was not promoted, the new change will take the older change along in the promotion path. So in this case, Telefonistka warns the user, shows him what kind of drift exists with details, and the user can make an informed decision. He can either take the old change along with it, along in the promotion flow, or you can manipulate the Git state to reach like the desired result. All those behavior is controlled with an in-repo configuration file in the root of the repo. And because you now have a file that describes the promotion flow, people can discover it. Like, I know, new engineer can use the repo, they can understand how that specific team promotes stuff on their infrastructure. You could, if you make a change, you could peer review the flow. The flow is now a part of the infrastructure as code repo, and it can be shared with other teams or other organizations, discussed and discovered, as I said. I think I ran through this pretty fast, so I even have time to go a bit over the configuration. I'm not going to walk through it step by step. I just mentioned there's another feature that I didn't talk about. There's a few features. It can run in dry run mode. It can auto-approve PR, which is sometimes useful in some cases. And you can control the behavior using labels. So you can open a pull request and label it and get another flow. Like in this case, it can open a PR for multiple clusters in production in one PR. So it can like aggregate a few promotions in one PR, which is sometimes desirable for speed. When you balance it with risk, of course. That's it, actually. The project is a very early stage, and it was written by a mediocre software engineer. So I appreciate any feedback on the code, documentation. You can reach out to me or like do it electronically. This is it. Thank you.
We can probably take one question while the next speaker is setting up, if you want to unplug here. One question? No pressure. I set it up because I said there was one, so you feel like it has to be so good. Here you go.
Like, I wanted to understand, Telefonista is a part of Argo's initiative. So we, in our environment, we use, it's an open source, right, without license. So do I need to do something extra, or is it some Helm thing we have to install?
So the installation, there's two ways. You could use it as a GitHub action, which is like the easiest setup, but it's like a bit slow. We internally use it as we run an actual webhook server that actually run on our infrastructure. And it's like the preferred way because everything works fast. And if you put a label or you comment something, you get instant feedback. The GitHub action is like, it starts a container. It's a slower process, but it's a great way to like test the tool to start with it. Because the installation, like you need to set up a webhook, you need to call kind of secret, a GitHub application, it's a bit involved. The GitHub action way is way easier. And
you have a UI as well, right? Like
Argo CD. The UI is GitHub pull request UI. Like the whole interaction with the user is done using comments on the PR and labels on the PR, and there's no other UI element because
like in Argo CD we have a Argo CD UI, right?
Yeah.
We can see everything in a pictorial presentations. So.
Like all the information you need is either in the Git or in some comment in the pull request. There's no extra UI. I use the CLI tool a lot. So my UI, like I open pull requests and like view them through the CLI. But
so right from deployment till the pull request, we can use Telefonista, right?
Sorry?
Right from deployment to the pull request creation.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
All right, give a round of applause. Thank you.